algebra, expressions are made up of terms. Terms can be letters, known as variables, and numbers, and include the addition and subtraction signs in front of them. For example, in the expression 4a add 3a, there are two terms, 4a and add 3a. One thing we can do in algebra is simplify expressions by joining like terms together. Like terms are terms that are either just numbers or where the variables are the same. For example, in the expression 4a add 3a, we can join the two terms together because they both consist of the variable a. In both of these terms, the variable a has been multiplied by a number known as a coefficient. To simplify this expression, all we need to do is add the coefficients together. So 4a add 3a is 7a. So this expression can be simplified as 7a. Here is another example. The expression 8b subtract b can be simplified because the two terms are like terms, as they both consist of the variable b. Remember that when a variable is written by itself, you can imagine there is a coefficient of 1 written in front of it. Looking at the coefficients, we have 8 subtract 1, which is 7. So we can simplify this expression to 7b. Have a go at this yourself by simplifying these expressions. Pause the video while you find the answers. Here are the answers. If you have an expression where the terms are not like terms, then these cannot be simplified by adding them together. For example, if you had 3f add 4t, this expression cannot be simplified. We don't know what numbers these variables represent, but we do know they are different. You can remember this by having the letters represent something, such as footballs and tennis rackets. You play sport with both of them, but you wouldn't put them together. When we are simplifying longer expressions, we need to group like terms together. For example, if we had the expression 3e add 5 add 2e subtract 3. Here we can see there are two sets of like terms. We have two terms consisting of the variable e and two numbers. Numbers by themselves are always like terms. Now we take the two terms consisting of variable e and put them together. Remember that the addition or subtraction sign in front of each term will move as well. The expression is now easier to simplify. 3e add 2e is 5e, and add 5 subtract 3 is 2. So the expression has been simplified to 5e add 2. Here is another example. If we have 5f subtract 6g add 4f subtract g. Once again, we have two sets of like terms in this expression, those containing the variable f and those containing the variable g. If we reorganize the expression to group the like terms together, it makes it easier to simplify. 5f add 4f is 9f. You must be careful with terms that start with a subtraction sign, as these create negative numbers. Negative 6g subtract 1g is negative 7g. We can now put these terms together so the whole expression is simplified as 9f subtract 7g. Have a go at simplifying these expressions. Pause while you find the answers. Here are the answers. We have to be careful that we don't try to group non-like terms together. This is especially true when dealing with variables with powers. For example, if we had 6a add a squared add a, here we have two sets of like terms, the a's and an a squared. We cannot combine all three terms, as a squared is not a like term to a, even though it contains the letter a. Instead, we can just simplify the terms consisting of an a without the power. So 6a add a is 7a, giving us the final expression of 7a add a squared. Here is another example. If we have 3x add 5x squared subtract 2 add 4x squared. In this case, we can see there are three sets of like terms. 3x is by itself, as there are no other terms containing just an x. But add 5x squared and add 4x squared are like terms, so we can add them together to make add 9x squared. The term subtract 2 is also by itself, as there are no other numbers. So that gives us the simplified expression of 3x add 9x squared subtract 2. Have a go at simplifying these examples. Pause while you find the answers. Here are the answers. One thing to remember in algebra is that AB is the same term as BA. Although written in a different order, these are the same two variables multiplied together, and so they are like terms. This means that when simplifying expressions, these two terms can be added together. So if we had AB add BA, we can simplify this expression to make 2AB. It doesn't matter which order the letters go in, but for neatness we usually write them in alphabetical order. Here is another example. If we had 5DE add 7, subtract 2ED, add 2. We can group this expression into two sets of like terms. 5DE and subtract 2ED can be simplified to make 3DE, and add 7, add 2 are added together to make add 9. So the simplified expression is 3DE add 9. Have a go at these examples. Pause the video while you find the answers. Here are the answers. Sometimes variables with powers can be multiplied by another variable. Terms containing multiple variables and powers can be added together if they have the same variables raised to the same powers. For example, if we had x squared y, add yx squared, add xy squared, the first two terms can be combined because they both have an x squared and a y. Added together, these terms make 2x squared y. However, xy squared cannot be added to either of the first two terms because although the variables are the same, they are raised to different powers. The x doesn't have a power and the y is squared. So the final simplified expression is 2x squared y add xy squared. Here is another example. If we had ab cubed add 2a squared b, add ba squared, subtract ab squared. To simplify this expression, we need to check if any of the terms have the same variables raised to the same powers. The first term contains an a and a b cubed. The second term has an a squared and a b with no power. So these two terms are not like terms and cannot be combined. The third term contains a b and an a squared. So this is a like term of the second term. If we add these two terms together, we get 3a squared b. The fourth term contains an a and a b squared. None of the other terms consist of this combination, so this cannot be simplified. This gives us the final simplified expression of ab cubed add 3a squared b subtract ab squared. Have a go at these examples. Pause while you find the answers. Here are the answers. Here is a summary on what we have learnt about simplifying algebraic expressions. Like terms, consisting of the same variables or simple numbers, can be added together to simplify an expression. You can group like terms together, but you must remember that the addition and subtraction signs in front of terms move with them. We need to be careful to keep variables and variables with powers separate, as they are not like terms. Terms containing the same variables multiplied together but written in a different order can be added together. If you have a combination of variables raised to various powers, then only terms that have the same variables raised to the same powers can be added together to simplify.